My Hero Vigilantes episode 12, and we are in the endgame of season 1. This episode adapts a little bit of chapters 23, 24, 25, and 26 of the manga. During the A story, we continue following everybody at the performance as the power has gone out, and they rally together to try and figure out what to do next. I really do like the idea that it is brought up that Popstep is really good at crowd control, and Koichi even brings her mic so she's able to actually get up there and speak to people so that they can hear her and she can perform for a bit to stall for time while they wait on power generators and then can begin the show proper. So I think it was a really good idea to get her up on stage doing what she normally does, that being assisting people and telling them what to do and keeping them calm in an emergency situation, as well as performing a quick thrown together concert. Later on the power does get there and so they're able to put on the full show and it's a nice performance. So really the storyline kind of comes to a nice conclusion and I really do like how everything's done. Again, you know, the animation's like nice here, it's even better in the fights that we see mostly in the other part of the episode, but any kind of Popstep performance is enjoyable. But the big part of the episode has Knuckle DUSTER following Tamao as she's being controlled by the Queen Bee that we found out last episode, and their chase and fight continues onward. Again, some good fight scenes here, and we do get to see even more of a backstory of Tamao before, in terms of the rough relationship that they had, and you know, a good amount of this episode has Knuckle DUSTER's narration, so we really do see how much he's changed since then, and how he was, you know, not the best dad, you know, genuinely, yeah, a bad dad, and how he really does want to make up for it. The way that he's talking about Tamao now, and, you know, talking to her, is a lot more encouraging and building her up than we see he did in the past. We do also get the tidbit that whoever is hosting the Queen Bee ends up having a new personality sort of mixed with the host and the bee quirk, and so we're starting to see a little more of Tamao come out here in this fight, and she seems to have an electric quirk that she's using against Knuckle DUSTER, which I don't know if that was her quirk originally, or if it was something added in by all the bee shenanigans later on. It's a very delicate game as he doesn't want to hurt her body, but she's able to get the one up on him by shocking his heart, but he's able to get up and follow her. And at this point, all the flashbacks also that are going on, yeah, big episode here, where we see that Knuckle DUSTER was talking with Girin, the broker from the main series, and asking him for a lot of things, medication, chemicals, and even a specialized stun gun that can be used as like a defibrillator also. Very genius idea, because he's able to use that on himself and get him back up. And so the final fight coming together and him just zapping Tamao's body and, you know, knocking her out, and then even taking care of all the bees, pulling out a huge disgusting looking queen bee from her eye. Yeah, that would not be comfortable. And he kills it by attracting all the other bees as well in a little firebomb. I really hope that is the end of that. You know, maybe not, we'll probably see more come about later, but now we see the real reason he wanted to use that defibrillator was on her so that he could basically bring her to the point of death, get the bees out of there, and then revive her. Very complicated, but we end on this, not necessarily seeing what happens, but he's basically trying to revive her, and that is effectively the cliffhanger we end on before the last episode of the season next week. But in terms of the Knuckle DUSTER, Queen Bee, and Tamao arc, that is sort of the conclusion to it. Not necessarily, I mean, there's probably still a lot more coming later, but in terms of the tracking down, the chase, and then the final fight, I think it was great. And it really does emphasize that he's doing what he does out of regret for letting her slip away.